Welcome, everybody. We are going to look at the Yoga Sutras today. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, also known as the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. If you want to know who Patanjali is, Patanjali is the one of the greatest personalities in the history of yoga and Indian divinity. Patanjali, and of course, one of the most outstanding divine personalities in history. Patanjali is a great sage who lived about 2200 to 2500 years thereabout ago, and he authored the famous um, divine writing, sacred writing called the Yoga Sutras. Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, named after him today. He was a yogi, an outstanding yogi, but then he articulated the whole story, the whole point. He articulated the whole of yoga, the philosophy, the everything you want to know. Okay. Very profound writing about yoga. So we're going to look at this very solid work of his, the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Now, this work is very solid. It's something you don't just like read it and understand it. A lot of authors, first of all, they translated from Sanskrit into English, and then they had a lot of commentaries. You really want to read commentaries. If you don't have an understanding, like I'm commenting now, so I'm going to give you a translation, which I've done. I've studied these writings for so many years, and I've been able to come up with my own translation, an English translation of the Yoga Sutras. So I'm going to go right into it. Now, that very word, now, has a lot of different interpretations. For me, is at this time, but for other scholars, a lot of scholars have given so many different interpretations to the word now, the very first word in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. They've argued a lot of arguments about what Patanjali meant by the word now. So I'm just pointing it out to you. Now the teaching and explanation of yoga. That's verse 1. Chapter 1, verse 1, or part 1, verse 1. They are in 4 parts. Now the teaching and explanation of yoga. 2. Yoga is the restraint of thought, the control of flowing thought, protecting it from assuming destructive or negative forms. So now, verse 1 means at this time, in my own translation. That means Patanjali, the great sage, was ready to begin instructing it to his followers at that point. Now, let me teach you yoga. Now, I'm ready to begin instructions. Now, students, everybody get ready to learn about yoga. That's my own interpretation. At this time, let me instruct you yoga. That's my own interpretation. Now, the teaching and explanation of yoga. Verse 2, yoga is the restraint of thought, the control of flowing thought, protecting it from assuming destructive or negative forms. 3, at that point, the seer dwells in his own natural state. 4, at other points in time, the seer is of identical form as the flowing thought. 5, there are 5 categories of flowing thought, and they are either painful or not painful. There are 5 categories of flowing thought, either painful or not painful. 6, they are right knowledge, wrong knowledge, delusion, sleep, and memory. 7, right knowledge is established on strict perception, inference, and reliable testimony. 8, wrong knowledge is false knowledge, not established on true appearance but illusion, on real nature. 9, delusion is following certain communication, mere words devoid of ultimate reality. 10, sleep is the mental activity established upon emptiness. mental activity established upon emptiness, voidness of other mind substances. Memory is the preservation of perceptions, not letting mental records slip away. 12. These flowing thoughts are restrained by practice and non-attachment or dispassion. 13. Practice is the persistent struggle, making effort again and again to gain steadiness. I want you to take out a highlighter and highlight 13. Practice is the persistent struggle, making effort again and again to gain steadiness, confidence, consistency. Practice is the persistent struggle, making effort again and again to gain steadiness, confidence. That's practice. This practice becomes firmly grounded. I'm on 14, guys. This practice becomes firmly grounded when continued with great persistence, perseverance, and tremendous love. 15. Detachment or dispassion towards the visible or audible. Everything seen or heard is mastery attained. 16. The highest discipline of detachment is the non-craving, which proceeds from thorough knowledge of the indweller. Thorough knowledge of the indweller. 17. Samadhi, the meditation known as right knowledge, is followed by critical thinking, clear understanding, perfect happiness, and the sense of I am. 18. There exists another samadhi or meditation accomplished by the persistent practice of abandonment and cessation of all mental activity, leaving only insignificant impressions as residue. 19. This meditation, when not accompanied by non-craving or total detachment, becomes the course of shapeless existence and all beings who are merged in their nature. 20. For others, enlightenment comes through faith. Enlightenment comes through faith, energy, mindfulness, brilliant focus, and clear understanding. 21. Enlightenment is quite close to those who love dearly and are highly committed to their yogic discipline, training, and practice. 22. There is further classification regarding the degree of effort used or level of commitment as elementary, intermediate, and advanced. Elementary, intermediate, and advanced. In other words, low level, medium level, and high level. 23. Or by devotion to divinity. In other words, enlightenment is very near to the faithful or devotees devoted to God. 24. I need to take a highlighter and highlight 24. God. Patanjali is giving us a solid definition for God here. God is a special, universal indweller. God is a special, universal indweller. Unaffected by pain and suffering, actions and their consequences, or boundless desires and lust. God is a special, universal indweller, unaffected by pain and suffering, actions and their consequences, or boundless desires and lust. 25. In Almighty God, that special power of transcendental knowledge, which in others is finite, is infinite and boundless. Infinite and boundless. 26. Being ageless and timeless. I want to highlight those words. I love those words. Being ageless and timeless, he is the teacher and master of even the ancient masters. 27. The voice of the divinity is Om. 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 28. The recitation of Om should be practiced with an excellent clarity of the meaning. The recitation of Om should be practiced with an excellent clarity of the meaning. 29. And then self-examination and self-analysis are achieved. Self-examination and self-analysis are achieved. Also achieved is the ruin and disappearance of all negative forces and obstacles. 30. Ill health, lack of zeal, skepticism, inattention